Hello and welcome to Mish Mosh Soup. Say hello to my random stream of consciousness. Once again, we've got Franklin, aka the Classy Queer. Say hey.
Hey guys.
Hey. So let's get on with the show now, shall we? You ready, Franklin?
I'm ready.
Okay. So anyway, it's a happy rainy day today, isn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say happy because it's really humid out there and it feels really gross. You know how you ever just you stand outside in a very humid weather and then you walk into a cool space, you get that condensation on your skin and you feel really clammy? That's kind of how I feel right now.
Clammy. You said clammy.
Under the sea.
Down where it's wetter. No, yeah, it was I had a very fun-filled day today. I got to go and get a mammogram. So it's fun times for me. Woo.
Oh, that's right. When was that? A few hours ago?
Or? It was a few hours ago. Thank God that I had a gentle woman and didn't smash me to blithereens because women have it bad.
And you won't know the results until when?
And then the next few, actually my doctor will know the results before I do. I think they said midweek because they need to get my records from Maui. So. Anyway.
And did you get it done because it was just your annual sort of checkup, or was it some sort of concern?
There was a little because you get them done every 10 years, unless there's an issue. But yeah, there was a bit of an ache. There's nothing that you can feel, but it's just the ache. And out of abundance of caution, my doctor said, "Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just check you out."
Yeah, that's very good. It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully it comes out negative.
Yes, it's if not, you're going to have to be blending my food, Franklin. Because I'll be going through chemo and I can't handle solids.
No, we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to hope for the best. No chemo in this future.
Yes. But anyway, so that was
that was your day.
That was the basically bulk of my day. And then, of course, dealing with traffic and idiots on the road when it's rainy. It's where in this reality does rain equal drive faster? It's and so they're honking behind me. And I'm pass me up. Pass me up, It's I'm not in a hurry.
Well, it's actually been my experience that, well, anyways, I'm not gonna go further into that. But my day was pretty good. I actually got back from the gym. Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, you're doing better than I am. I haven't seen the inside of a gym.
I was actually really stressed out today because I had missed yesterday's workout. So I missed one day this week. And can't
relate. I don't get stressed out when I miss...
when you miss a week.
When I miss a whole year. Because COVID just took it all out of me. It's I ain't going anywhere near a gym.
You kind of have to get yourself back into the groove of things, even if it's for a 20-minute workout. And then you do that every day, and then you can kind of extend that period of time that you're at the gym. But I've already gotten acclimated to a routine where I go for about an hour every day. And so I missed mine yesterday because I went and donated plasma. So... I missed it, and I was all anxious.
COVID antibodies, yes.
I was really anxious. I was I have to work out today. So I did that. Got a real nice workout in. And actually, I just found out that Planet Fitness is no longer enforcing the mask rule.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how I feel about that. Because people can lie and say, "Oh, I'm fully vaccinated." It's no, you're not.
Well, and actually, I did the right thing. So I went into the...
You took your COVID card.
No, I went to Planet Fitness and I said, "Hey, I just want to talk to y'all guys about the news that came out where those that are fully vaccinated don't have to wear masks indoors or outdoors. And I want to know what Planet Fitness take was on this news and what's your policy going to be going forward." I didn't want to just walk in here I'm not wearing a mask, I'm fully vaccinated. I wanted to actually get their input and be respectable about it. So they said, "Oh yeah, we did hear the news and we won't be enforcing any masks inside Planet Fitness. You can wear one and we highly recommend that you do, but that if you don't want to, you can basically at your own risk."
I have mixed feelings about that because we're not out of the woods, yes, we haven't achieved that herd immunity yet. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I know I've got my shots. I'm fully vaccinated. You are too. But I mean, who's to say that somebody, that's standing next to you in the grocery line isn't, and they've got this variant strain.
Yeah.
They sneeze on you because it's happened, and it happened to you.
It did.
They sneezed on your face, and you got
And
COVID.
by a medical personnel.
Yeah.
At that.
That would just be my luck. I would be at the grocery store and somebody would achoo! And it's like it goes all over my face. I'm like, yeah. And then they have like the Southeast African variant or something, and there I go. Get all weird on me.
Turn into a zombie.
Oh, God.
Which actually, speaking of zombies,
I
think that's what we're going to be talking about. Video games.
Ooh, the scary. Yes, we're going to be. Yes, cue scary music. But no, yeah, we were talking about that. And in fact, what brought it on was you were actually sending me photos. I'm not going to say the address, but, mm-hmm. the last place we lived in when y'all were little in Maine.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we moved in and then we had gone down to like the basement, which was like the epitome of creepy, dark, dank cellar, because everybody in New England has, they call it down cellar.
I noticed that we don't in here in Texas, we don't have basements.
Well,
we have
because
attics.
We've got limestone.
Yeah. So I think it has to do with like a safety issue or like the way the foundation settles. But yeah, we don't have basements here in Texas. But like up in Maine, people have cellars.
Usually people have root cellars too. But I remember when we went down there, was it you or your brother that it's like, Mom, there's gravestones down.
Oh my God, yes. I
was like, what?
Talk about creepy. There was like...
They were like from the 1800s.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm surprised we didn't get any like spooky activity up in that place.
I know, but I always was creeped out by that door in the kitchen because, it was... In New England, you don't have apartment complexes. You've got homes
duplexes
that are, duplexes. These old, New England style, sharp roofed homes, and they turn them into.
They split them. They split them into fourplexes
or twoplexes,
and sometimes they're multiple stories. So you'll have the whole first floor will be like the first floor, then the second floor, and then the third floor.
Yeah,
and then they have like these little slide accesses.
Yes, and it's like I was. And I remember going into the kitchen, and because I knew that the other apartment on the other side, I could walk right up into their door, and if they didn't have it locked, go right into their apartment from the basement. So I was always creeped out.
Yeah, basically the basement was a shared area.
It was a shared area, yeah, and I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm like, Jeffrey Dahmer living in, our neighbor, and they
tapping on your door.
Oh my God!
Let me in.
Hell no.
Oh, speaking of like that, because that particular apartment that you're talking about.
Yes.
Who
you
was
discovered?
It? Well, no, not even just that, but just like a little side story. Lee played the worst prank on me. Oh. It was after school. I had walked home. And I needed to use the restroom, so I ran into the house and I dropped my pants and took the biggest dump. And so after I was done, I was just about done, and then I heard the door opening, and I heard like boots stomping into the kitchen, and I was like, "Oh my God, who the hell is here?" So I'm like, "Hello, hello," and they didn't respond. So I get really quiet. And I can hear the footsteps stopped. Oh
God! Like if they heard you and they stopped.
Yes, and then I was like, "Hello, who's there?" And then they ended up stomping over to the restroom door, and they started jiggling the handle and like banging on the door. And we had a window in the restroom that looked out. I opened up that window and I screamed for help. I was like, "Help! Help!" And I was holding the door closed. And then
it wasn't locked.
And it was
locked, but you wanted to give it stability.
And I think, I was like, after 10 seconds, Lee goes, "Franklin, it's me."
You're like, God damn it!
I was so freaking upset. I was upset. I was mad.
No,
but I was also scared. I was scared.
We lived first downstairs, and then we moved upstairs, and then Lee's bedroom had a door that would go out into like the other back area where there was another apartment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I always did not like
it. Was like a mudroom area.
Well, yeah, it was.
It was like an entryway.
And then they would go to the other apartment. But it's like I always got hanked out, and then of course you discover that somebody was killed years after we left.
Oh yeah.
Somebody was murdered.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, I was like, did you hear this story? And even you didn't know.
I didn't know about it.
So I was like, yeah, because I remember reading this article. I was already living here in Texas when I had learned about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like,
and it mentioned our address.
Yeah, like our exact address. Now, whether it was the upstairs or downstairs apartment,
but we lived in both. So.
We lived in both. Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, like there's a couple who had lived there. They were a young couple. I think he was
in the 20s, and she was a college student.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess one night he was really upset, and they went at it.
Well, they broke. It said in the article I read it this morning that they broke up, but they were still living together while he found another place. Mm-hmm. And that he had suspected, what culminated the breakup was that he had suspected that she had been having another relationship and got pissed off one day and tied her up and then proceeded to rape her and then got her to admit, yeah, I was having an affair while I was still with you. They found her bound naked on the bed. She was 21.
And
like, wow.
I was like, man, that happened. And so I shared that story with a couple of friends, and I thought I had sent it to you. I guess not. But yeah, you were like, what? Our old apartment?
I was like, what?
There you go. Another headstone to add to the basement.
Oh, you said, yeah, it was one to add to the collection. It's like, oh.
No, but that's terrible. Yeah, that poor girl. But still, it was like, like I said, it was a shock when I heard that.
It was a shock. But no, it's like, anyway, but we had some creepy times there because my kids and I, I was a single mother, and and so it was basically our bubble. I think we always had this like a little bubble of us three, and y'all.
We weren't really close to a lot of family.
No, we weren't, and we basically stuck to each other.
Yeah,
I mean, and it wasn't like we were complete shut-ins, but I mean, I would have to threaten y'all to go outside and get some fresh air because y'all were game heads. Computer heads.
Yeah.
And so
we never wanted to go outside. It was, in fact, actually you had to fight for us to go outside and play.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be inside, on our computer games, on our console games, and just,
And YouTube was
keep to ourselves.
Was YouTube? No, when did YouTube start?
Because I think it was in 2006 or 2008.
So
sometime between those years.
It was a thing. YouTube. I know that MySpace was a thing when y'all were young. But
yeah.
But I remember everybody had that friend. What's his name? Tom?
The top...
Tom?
What? I thought you were going to say everyone had that top 5 or the top 8 friends list. You had your top 8 favorites.
Tom was always on there.
And actually, talk about a way to start fights within middle school and high school is when, so-and-so's on my top 8 favorite friends.
God. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I remember those days.
We had bonded.
Sorry.
We bonded as a family even tighter because I started playing Tomb Raider.
Yes.
And they were young. They were little kids, little beans, and they would watch me. Mom. Who was the one that always pointed me to the hidden stuff?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was. It had to be either me or Lee, but it was. Yeah, we would.
One was a navigator.
I think we would play, and then I would help direct you to areas that you needed to go, while Lee would find secret areas or at least areas that looked like you could access.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lara Croft Tomb Raider was one of our favorite games, and we played it from the first game all the way through the fourth, which I think was Chronicles, and then. But even
it was like a shared effort because whenever I would get stuck in areas, you were really good at all the little jumps and stuff, and I'd be like, "Here,
you pass it along to me." I got that hand-eye coordination.
And then Lee would go. He would go in to the hard areas where he thinks he saw something and couldn't be bothered, so I would hand him the. But it was a combined effort.
But see, I think there were a couple of games that we played growing up, and
Tomb Raider was the first.
Tomb Raider was the first. But even to this day, like, I've been a big, like, Tomb Raider fan.
Same.
But also, along with Tomb Raider, there was also, like, the Resident Evil games.
Oh, yeah.
Those were pretty scary. And I think my first Resident Evil, or at least the first Resident Evil game.
That was the first game, right? Well, Resident Evil that we played that was scary.
That was like a horror game, yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to say the first Resident Evil game that was like my entry into the series was the second game where you play Leon and Claire Redfield. And you have to like roam the police station. So that was that was the first game that
and it was at the one where I'm sorry, but it's
always
funny where it goes, here, take this key card, and it's like his hand is like not even going anywhere, like.
Yes, that's the iconic.
Oh my god,
that is the one line that sticks out to you for some reason. And I think it's because it is so like cheesy the way it's animated.
Here, take this key card. And that's the only thing that kind of ties me or centers me to that game.
Yeah, that's like, oh, that's the one with Claire and Leon.
Yes, exactly. But that was
yeah, I like that game a lot too.
Y'all were young, and I remember we would play like at night, and I'd be like,
yes.
Especially when we first saw the liquor.
Oh, yes. Yes, that opening cutscene where if you're playing Leon or Claire, it'll kind of show them in the cutscene, and then they're walking.
Sound. And was it that little, like a little gecko walking on?
Yeah.
Ew.
But no, that iconic scene where it's up on the ceiling, and it's just like, it's crawling its way on the ceiling towards you, and then it like looks at you, and then whips its tongue out. Mm-hmm. And makes that iconic sound, yes. But that game was scary. Or at least at the time when I was little.
Yeah, it was. Holy
I mean,
crap.
It still kind of jumps me even now. Like, when I go back and play it, like, do replays. Now it still gets me on occasion. But, yeah, it's not as scary as it now. Obviously, I'm an adult. But...
Now, was that the one that had Sherry in it?
Yeah, Sherry Birkin. Where you have to... And a classic escort mission where you have to take the little girl or take, your companion... across the map to do something, but yeah.
Like, bitch, hurry up, man.
Yeah, over there, like, literally crouching, and, like, if you get too far away from her, she, like, crouches down.
Or she just sits.
Yeah, she sits there and waits for you.
And you're like, excuse me.
This is not a time to dilly-dally. We are on the schedule here.
Come on. Hippity hop. It's hippity hop. But...
Actually, I think Lee and I did a Let's Play. We did a Let's Play of the Tomb Raider, the Resident Evil 2 game.
Y'all were funny, I have to say. Especially when the way she talks. Like, what child of 12 speaks that way?
The ventilation hole.
It's like, bitch.
That's just the hole. To you, that's just the hole.
You actually were specific. A ventilation hole. Oh, my God.
But yeah, we did a Let's Play of that game, and... we never really finished it. Like, I think we ended like 2 episodes before the actual game, before the actual end of the game. But it was just our way of trying out a Let's Play format, and it never really kind of went anywhere, and we just kind of stopped it. But then, speaking of horror games, though, I think one that really truly speaks to me, and it will forever break my heart, that Konami ruined this game for any future releases.
Konami sold out everything.
They sold out everything. They crushed that game series. They basically made no way for it to ever come back, at least at this time. But Silent Hill. Yeah.
Silent Hill was actually based on Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Centralia, Pennsylvania is on one of the top 10. It's one of the top 10 creepiest towns in America. Centralia, Pennsylvania, in 1962, there was a trash fire that went horribly wrong and spread to the town's underground mines. Now, there used to be, like, I think 6,000 or 7,000 residents there. And then in 1982, the town was evacuated by state and local government. Then in 1992, they recalled the
citizens,
the zip code.
Oh.
They seized the land under the eminent domain clause act. and the fires literally to this day are still burning. It was deemed dangerous because you could even walking on the pavement. I mean, there's sinkholes and stuff, and some of those fumes that you breathe can kill you. Yeah, and so Centralia was the basis of Silent Hill. I mean, it looks kind of.
It's really, and I just, that whole game was a different type of horror. Because Resident Evil was definitely like your action-packed, like zombie gore sort of horror. Yeah. Jump scares. Silent Hill was more of a terror. It was psychological, and there was
atmospheric.
Atmospheric for sure.
Definitely atmospheric.
It was the silent parts of the games that kind of really got to you. It was the moments when there wasn't any sound or wasn't any music, and you were just left.
And it was in the day when you're walking. Yeah. It was foggy.
But it's like in daylight.
It's daylight.
And it's the first game that made fog scary.
Oh hell yeah! Let me tell you. Ooh.
And actually, fun fact: the fog was really never meant to be there to begin with. It was really only added in after the fact because they needed a way to save memory. Because to load every single bit of that map onto the screen would take up a lot of video memory. Oh. So it would cause the game to lag. And so part of masking that was to add in the fog particle. That way the system didn't have to work hard to load up images.
But it was a very, it was a happy accident.
It was
because let me tell you, nothing is more creepy than trying to figure out, is there something
back there?
I can't really tell. The fear of the unknown.
Yes. And actually, I the other thing I like about that game even more was not just the psychological horror aspect of it, but it was like one of the first games, at least for me, that kind of brought in a cult aspect. It was this story. There was lore behind this town. It was a mother who was involved in some type of cult who ended up sacrificing or trying to sacrifice her daughter to the old gods of the town. And so it goes into this really deep lore about the town of Silent Hill, the fact that it was built on Native American grounds. There were old gods that were angered when there was the development of this town. It was at one point a colonial slave town too. But yeah, a lot of history.
The classic, here comes white man and takes
the land and curses it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And
then it goes into, of course, I don't know if you ever got into the second or third games. The Silent Hill 2 had James Sunderland, and then you had to.
I think that
one had Pyramid Head.
Yeah. Now, I think the furthest I got with you all was The Room.
Oh, it's Silent Hill 4, The Room, yeah.
The Room. And, but one thing I remember, I thought, to me, because, my children, they kind of make fun of me sometimes. They're like, mom's playing on my younger son. Oh, Mom, are you playing Grand Theft Auto? You're playing Red Dead Redemption.
You're actually a pretty avid gamer yourself.
Yeah, but it's like, they're like, to them, it's like this, it's an anomaly. And it's like, I'm like, bitch. I was part of the OG gamers. If it wasn't for our generation, y'all wouldn't have. Our generation was the one that created
the Pac-Man, the Mario.
Well, no, it's something as basic as it started with Pong.
Oh yeah, Pong.
And Space Invaders and
Galaga. Galaga, and also Pac-Man, and then Donkey Kong.
I mean, we were the original. It was our generation that created
what is video games.
What is video games now? And it's like when they're telling me, "Oh, Mom thinks she's like, you're too old." I'm like, "Excuse me." Yes.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm like, say yes. It was, it was very cutting edge for us to watch two sticks with a ball going back and forth. But let me tell you, we were kind of on
You were on the edge of your seat.
Yes, like, oh my God.
Is it going to go left this time?
Is it going to go up or down? You know? Oh, but I mean, that was exciting for us. Mm-hmm. And I remember playing my Super Mario Brothers in college. You know, I would be on the weekends, you know, trying to ride that turtle. The first official, what was it? The game hacks, you know, when you find these little... You know,
little cheats or little secrets?
The secrets, and I'm like riding the little turtle to get all the coins.
Oh my God.
You have to hit the turtle at the right spot, and I'm like, they're going, all those coins.
I think the reason why Lee.
You too.
Lee and I are kind of astonished that you play games now is because I think we see it as, we know that your generation created video games, but like compared to video games now, they're more complex. It involves a lot of hand-eye coordination, a lot of muscle memory, a lot of memorization of certain control schemes.
If y'all could see me, I'm looking at him like,
and then,
what do you think I have, dementia?
Well, actually, video games do help with the dementia.
Yeah, but I do have hand-eye coordination.
But I mean, games are more involved. They're a whole world of their own. And I mean, I guess that's why, like, at least some of the...
Yes, because I used to play Farmville on Facebook, and they'd make fun of me. Oh, Mom, you're a casual gamer. Me with my little... harvesting the corn and the cherries and stuff.
Well, speaking of Farmville, oh my God, that's another game series I enjoy, like the Harvest Moon series or the Farm Simulator games.
Oh yeah. Now there's one called Farm Simulator that I don't really like because I think Steve has it.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. That one's stupid. I don't like it. But you did play or at least maybe you watched me on occasion play Harvest Moon on my Game Boy Advance.
I watched you play that because, like I said, we were a family of gamers. I mean, and that's why I'm kind of shocked because, I mean, I basically brought you into that world by, it was kind of our time to kind of bond.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we always get home from school, Mom, are we going to play? And it's like... Yes, and I remember we were living in New Mexico at night. We'd be like playing okay. It was also based on a true story because I was one of those gamers that I would go on when eBay was still big. I would go online and look for obscure horror games.
Are you talking about Fatal Frame?
Fatal Frame.
Oh yes, that one.
That was based on a true story.
Or maybe not based on a true story, but maybe based on true folklore from Japan.
Nothing says scary like Asian
Japanese
horror.
Yes, not just the movies, but like that game, Fatal Frame. I've never to this day I've never played the first one, but I played the second one, which is with Mio and Mayu, the twin sisters.
I think Lee played the first one.
Well, he may have played more of the Fatal Frame games. I think I've played for sure 2, which had Mio and Mayu. I played the third game. And then after that, I have seen Let's Plays of like the other entries into the series, but the first one I've never played.
That was creepy.
And they took a whole spin on the horror game genre where you don't have any type of weapon. Your weapon is literally just a camera.
A camera. It's like point and shoot. It brought new meaning to the term point and shoot.
Yes.
It's like, and you're like, oh my God, and you know that creature or that spirit is there, and you're like,
yes,
click,
it's right.
Click.
Or and then also when they get really close to you and they come in for the attack and you're like you're literally helpless.
Oh my God. It's like, I mean, I'm telling you, really, I have a fucking camera for to help me here. It's like, what is wrong with this? Literally, pardon the pun, what's wrong with this picture? You know?
Yes. And I think so. Yes, Fatal Frame was like, that was, you know what? Now that you mention it, looking back at it now, that is a weird game to sort of buy kind of on the fly without having no prior knowledge to it. Like, let me see if the kids like this.
I think what happened was I bought it for Christmas and I was looking because, I used to eBay a lot. I used to buy stuff on eBay. And I remember just Googling, because Google was still in its infancy, but it's like Googling about really obscure horror games for the PlayStation, because it was PlayStation.
It was PlayStation 2, yeah.
Was it 2? I thought it was PlayStation.
Well, you did find horror games on the PlayStation because we had both of the series.
We've
consoles.
Always had all these consoles, right? We had the Dreamcast. We had the. Everything.
I think. Oh, and I have to like really check my facts on this. Actually, I can just check it right now. I want to say Fatal Frame. The first one was for the PS1. Let me double check.
Well, it wasn't even a PS1. It's just called the PlayStation.
Frame
the PS1. And then there was PS2, and then PS3.
Oh, so it was released on the initial release date was December 13th, 2001, and it was for PlayStation 2. So yeah, Fatal Frame was for
y'all were babies.
How old was I in 2001? 2000,
because hello, basic math. You were born in 92. You were not 10.
So, well, I don't think about my age. So I literally forget. Sometimes I forget how old I am.
You were 10, 11 years old.
I'll have to ask Manny. I'm like, Manny, how old am I? He goes, you're 28. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess.
And I'm the one that's suffering from Alzheimer's. Yeah, but no, it was, you were like 10, 11.
Going back into like the classics though, there were also some fun games that we would play like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. Oh, those were really fun games.
Remember this game? Parappa the Rapper.
Yes.
Oh, and then
Bust a Groove.
Bust a Groove. Yes. I still love. I mean, sometimes I'll look at the gameplays on there, but they had some cool music. Shorty and the Easy Mouse. And then
my
Kitty
mama told
and...
me. Wait, how does it go? I can't even remember the lyrics right now, but yeah, there were a lot of the songs on there were iconic. I still will look up the soundtrack to those games, and I was just like gonna jam out to them.
Yeah, and there was Kitty N.
Oh, there was Hiro.
He
was the whole disco vibe.
Oh god.
Kitty N was more of like the pop, like techno sort of EDM,
like Posh Spice.
I think, but her music was very much like techno EDM pop, like dance music.
What he said.
And then you have Robo Z, who was like the final boss character.
He was the boss one, yes.
His music was like funk pop, but his dance moves were like voguing.
Voguing, yes, yes. And then,
man, I love those.
I like where you're like going through like the river or the water.
Oh
gosh, who was that?
Was that the second game though?
Was it?
Because I think it was Shorty's stage, but I think if you're talking about where you're going through a river and there's like a volcano in the background, that was the second game because there was a Buster Groove 2, which is also an iconic game for sure.
Yeah, but I liked the other one I liked is the Capoeira.
Yes, Capoeira. That one was
the aliens.
It was Brazil. It was like Spanish.
It was Brazilian Capoeira. Capoeira is the
dance fighting.
Dance fighting, yes, and it was very Brazilian, very kind of, and that was a real. I mean, I would be like playing the game and kind of like dancing along.
Yes, and I think actually it's the first sort of rhythm-based game that you got into.
Yes.
The next rhythm-based game that's a classic is Space Channel 5.
Oh God!
Help us, ooh la la. That one is actually. I never
played it, but Lee, I would watch him.
Yeah, all the time. That was a very. I think it was originally released on the Sega Dreamcast.
Because y'all had. I remember we were in Miami and we went to that one little place that we would always go to get find video games, and then we got the. Was it the Dreamcast there? And then some kid. I wish my mommy bought me because I mean we walked out there with like $200 worth of stuff. It's like, you want that, you want this, let's go this, and it's like they always.
Oh my! Back in the day when GameCube. Back in the day when Blockbuster was a thing,
I remember also going to Blockbuster and we would go find a movie, kids, and we'd always the horror games.
You know what?
Or horror movies, and then we would also rent video games.
Even though. Streaming things or getting access to TV shows and movies and games is so much easier now. There was something about those old little Blockbuster movie stores. It kind of brought a sense of community because you could literally spark up conversation with the salesman there. or just like a neighbor from like who's also like, hey, do you have any recommendations for a movie?
You gotta watch this one.
Yes, it was like a sense of community, and I looking back at it now, like I have vivid memories of those.
You were lucky enough to experience that, and now that there's only one Blockbuster left, I think it's like in Alaska.
Or something. And even then, it probably is closed since.
No, it's still around. In fact, I just saw a video, and it's like it's still kicking and screaming.
Man, someone put it out of its misery.
But I remember, I mean, we used to, it was like it was fun. Let's go to Blockbuster. We'd go right in, and it's like, and even in Maine, we went in Bangor.
There was a Blockbuster?
There was a Blockbuster there. We would go right there where the Rite Aid was. And
God.
I mean, because we were there for 10 years. Mm-hmm. So we even got a chance to, I mean, I think we were there for 10 years. So yeah, after we came back from Europe, from living in England, we would go in like on Sundays or Saturdays because they had like 99-cent rentals. Man,
and actually that's another thing is we did rent a lot of games, and it was always like so bittersweet because you would let Lee and I pick out our games for that week, and we had a 7-day period to like quickly beat the game. That way we can be like, okay, at least we beat it, and we don't feel so bad having to turn it in.
But sometimes we Mom, please, so we would re-rent it. But
then some other kid was like, "Oh, you re-rented the last copy."
Yeah, because we would find, it's due to come back in. This game is due to come back at 5 or something, and then and then we'd go in there, and it's like, well, can I re-rent this one? Oh my goodness, broke somebody else's heart.
Yeah, who was waiting for it?
Yeah, but those were some really cool games. Parappa the Rappa.
Oh yes, there were some iconic songs in that game too, but I can't recall some of them. Instead of kick, punch, it's all in the mind.
Yes, kick, punch,
and that's an iconic song for sure. There were other ones too, but my mind is like drawing a blank right now.
But I like Shorty and the Easy Mouse from
Busted Groove.
Busted Groove. That was, I liked it because when you knew you were doing good because all the candies would start and the popcorn would start popping everywhere.
My mama tells me every day not to move so fast across the room.
And the little
She's
mouse
worried I'll break something, but I'm at the age where I do what I want to do. I know I'm your baby. Something. I forgot the rest. It's coming to me, though. It's coming to me.
Yes. But it was cool because she had that little mouse, and I always wanted to have the mouse finally come out and dance with her.
And I think you got to that stage once you did a whole bunch of once you did enough combos to where you hit like hyper mode or something, and then the
mouse would pop out.
The mouse would pop out and dance alongside you. It was so cute.
And then of course all the
Columbo was his name.
Columbo, and all the because she had a little like a fair in the background, so the popcorn would start popping, and
the animals would come and dance out that were in the stands.
Exactly.
I love it.
That was.
It was a fun game.
But where do we go from horror to like?
Well, it didn't have to necessarily be horror games. It was just video games in general.
Video games in general, and I think
Oh my gosh! Speaking of video games,
what?
We still don't have a PS5.
Oh,
that's a whole another thing.
The drama.
Because I really want a PS5, but there's good luck finding one.
Yeah, it all started with Walmart finally, posting that make y'all wait till the whatever date you can get your PS5 now. I went to bed.
You pre-ordered, I think.
No, I didn't pre-order. I had saw the release, the tweet from PlayStation.
Yeah.
Saying that these retailers, and there was 5 retailers and 1 online. I think it was going to be Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Costco, Sam's, and Amazon. And GameStop. And they were all, on such and such at 6 whatever a.m. Eastern Standard Time, blah blah blah. You can get on and buy or go to the store. No. Walmart, like 20 minutes later, tweeted that
we're actually having ours earlier than that.
Yeah, buy yours now. Make our customers wait. Buy it now. Order it now.
And it caused a domino effect.
And it was
because other stores followed suit.
Other stores were like, "What?" So then it with the exception of Amazon. Mm-hmm. But somebody, from what I read in the article that I read, that a bunch of people they're called data miners. Mm-hmm. They saw, I guess, they like, I don't know what they do.
They saw like an opportunity. Essentially, the fast and easy of it is that they basically bought up all the stock.
They loaded their bots.
Yeah. And that's actually to this day why some people still have an issue buying a PS5, us included, because you have these people who buy up all the stock once there's any available, and then they repost it online and with
at a big markup.
Yes, so they're internet scalpers.
And it's, and a lot of them are, I mean, you would think, but a bunch of them are actually struggling from what I've seen, that people are pissed. They're like, I ain't going to buy it. Because the people, I've seen a few that are, going on saying, how brand new in the box, blah, blah, blah. Here's a receipt. And they're like, I'll wait for mine. Yeah.
And actually, that's one thing I do like about the gaming community is that they'll band together and they'll like leave bad reviews or leave comments saying, hey, we're not going to purchase your products. We're going to wait till the actual official Sony store starts, gets in stock again.
But Sony really did a disservice, because what I think that they should have done is that they should have kind of, okay, Walmart, you're the one that started this mess. So guess what? Your restock is not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because what happened was it ended up that they sold way too many than they had, because people were getting emails from Walmart saying that they were probably going to be back ordered because they didn't anticipate. There was some kind of
volume.
There was an issue with like the time your system is in the cart before you check out, that somebody else, that stock was still technically available, and then I guess the timing of checking out at the same time. So now there was like one that was technically really already wasn't there, but because of the timing of the checkout.
Yeah.
So it ended up that they had oversold.
Yeah, that's a whole. The way that they handle that, and this is on Sony too. Like the way that they handled that release was just, I think, piss poor.
It was.
I think they need to think of a way to, first of all, limit the amount of consoles you can buy.
Yeah.
I think maybe 1 or 2 is fine. There's no need for you to be buying 7.
Yeah.
I mean, make another account then. Like, buy the 2 you want, and then if you need to, make another account and then do more that way. But still, like, there needs to be like a restriction.
And put like, do you know how they make us do those stupid captchas to make sure that we're not a robot?
Yeah.
Put layers of encryption so that it's not a bot. They can, it's an actual person that's buying this.
Or they could even do like, maybe like when it comes to like big releases like this, have it to where, like as you make the purchase, they do some sort of like ID verification, or they do some sort of like they charge your account only like a certain, like a couple of cents to make sure it's like a valid account or something. Just some sort of like security.
Layer of security. It's not hard to do in this day and age.
But it costs money. And, with capitalism, it's all about making a profit and with as little spent possible.
Yeah, and then and we're the casualties of that. People like us that really have been wanting a PS5.
And people get desperate because, unfortunately, my brother, he didn't really know, but he did end up buying a PS5 on this website. It looked legit. But
I knew right away.
But to the trained eye, or to somebody who knows, I mean, it looked legit to somebody who doesn't really,
who's not savvy.
Who's not looking for it.
Yeah,
it looked so. Basically, it was like, oh my god, they have some in stock for, and it would.
They had just one.
But the part that made it really fishy was that they had it for less than the retail price.
No, it was the exact amount.
Oh, was it?
It was. The thing is, it had, instead of a .com, it had like a .me.
Oh god!
And then on top of that, I told him. So he told me the name of the site. So I immediately went and did my little investigation, because I'm not my husband, who is a systems analyst. But I know it. from looking at him what to look for.
Yeah.
And when I was looking that, I went to look at the registration of the website. Yeah. Some dude and some chick. And on top of that, I looked at their policy, their terms of service and stuff. And it said that once the sale is done, that because it's coming from another country, it's oh God.
That's another red flag.
It might get caught up in customs, and it's not their responsibility if you never get it.
Oh, so that
he never got an email saying, "Oh, thank you for your order. You confirm." He never got an email.
So the quick of that story is basically he got scammed, but thankfully he was able to kind of rectify it. The bank reissued the funds. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bank took a hit, but it goes to show you have to be very savvy when you're shopping for consoles or just anything online. Really, you can easily get suckered into that. Now, I like to think that I'm a bit savvy when it comes to shopping online myself. I would have easily found that was really sketchy. How is it that this unknown website selling it at retail when you can't even buy it from the official site?
Exactly. It's and they had just one, and then when I went on their website, they had still just one left. Oh my God. So it creates that sense of urgency because they only have just one. Mm-hmm. So you better quickly act now. And it's and of course there's all these reviews, but it's
they're fake reviews.
They're fake reviews.
And actually Amazon is known for this too.
Oh, yeah.
They do the whole where sellers will go and they will basically add fake reviews onto their product. Yeah. To basically mark up and make sure that it's up high in Amazon's search list. Mm-hmm. But that's
another. Or they just pay for the promotion. It's they just pay for it to be for a week or two for it to come up in the top seller.
Believe me, I have a few words. I have a few words for Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, he got divorced and he got a lot.
Oh, with his wonky eye.
No, well, didn't he was recently on literally last week about something he did to his yacht that it's pissed off a bunch of people. But I know that his ex-wife donated to literally a community college here, one of the largest gifts, and it's because this community college is known for just having, winning all kinds of awards and stuff. Yeah. And being an excellent. But yeah, Jeff Bezos, did you know that he's coming up with, he's getting into the hair salon industry and they're going to do AI hair salon where you can go and sit down. And there's going to be 2 test markets, or a few of them they're going to be testing. It was actually just on, I saw it on YouTube. Uh-huh. And they were saying that what you do is you sit down and you can see in 3D how a hairstyle is going to look on yourself before you decide to get that hairstyle or that haircut.
Well, I would like to see exactly where this goes because I think there's just something about getting a haircut that's so personal. You want to have that human interaction.
Oh yeah, and I don't think some machine going. And then you're like, oh my God, what did I do?
What, I fucked up my hair.
You gotta wait a few months for it.
And there's no talking to the manager because that is the manager as far as you're concerned.
Listen here, Johnny 5. Oh God, remember Johnny 5?
Wait,
it's Johnny. Johnny 5.
Was this in the was this in the 70s?
80s.
Oh,
Short Circuit. Oh gosh, okay, I'm dating myself. But it was actually a cool. It was a cool.
But
movie.
You know what?
It actually has a cult class. It's a cult classic.
I have to double.
Johnny, yeah, it's called Short Circuit.
I'm gonna have to look it up because it's not coming. Nothing's coming to mind.
But the song, I think it was by El DeBarge. It's Johnny. Yeah, it was he was Johnny 5's alive. It's
oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going into territory. I'm I don't know what's going on.
Oh, excuse me. You, this child, the teacher at school in California in Los Angeles, tells me, oh my gosh, we were having, a circle, the little morning circle and stuff, and we all were talking and what their favorite, songs are, or what their favorite things are, or what their favorite food, and then your son, it was his time to, say what his favorite song was. I said, well, what's your favorite song? Because he was shy. Mm-hmm. I go, okay, so what did he say? And this is my son, okay? He's like 6 or 7 years old.
I'm like imagining where this could go because I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be embarrassing.
She told me, oh, I have a favorite song. And then she said, well, what's your favorite song? Well, I don't know what it's called, but this is how it goes. Play that funky music, white boy.
Could I be any more annoying?
But she's like, it's like, that's music from my generation. Because, I expose my kids to lots of...
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, actually, speaking of exposure, going back to, like, video games, you were a parent who never shied away from letting us try games like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because I think you took it upon yourself to teach us, at least after playing the game or in those moments, like, okay, Franklin, or okay, Lee, like, you realize that this is not real life, mm-hmm, that this is make-believe.
And we don't act this way in public.
Mm-hmm. And that even if we were exposed to the language, also, mm-hmm, you would also make sure that even though you're hearing this in the game, it's not right that you swear, or that you shouldn't be talking this way. That way you instilled the core values, like you shouldn't be, swearing to people just willy-nilly. There's a way to act.
I had y'all really grounded in being a decent human. I mean, not to say some people, I'm not saying that to me that was a form of censorship, and my children mm-hmm. were always, I never told them, oh my God, you can't. I mean, I wasn't having them watch snuff films.
Yeah.
If they watched, a rated R movie and it had lots of violence and lots of horror, it was mostly the rated R because a lot of what was horror. It wasn't like...
Or maybe even just partial nudity. But even then, you would still kind of like shield our eyes. But then you would still talk about it.
But I'm like, you know what? They're going to see it somewhere else. And as long as we talked about it... And you know what? They didn't come out deviants. I mean, they're both pretty, they're pretty decent. They've never, been incarcerated.
As far as you know.
I mean, that's just me. I mean, that's my style of parenting. It suits my family, and my kids came out great. Not to say that another style is bad. I mean, we all have the way we put our own spin on it.
What something I do, I find it confusing. And then again, maybe you can just chalk it up to ignorance, but I don't understand when parents talking to them when they say like, oh, I could never talk to my kids about like sex, or how do you mm-hmm. even do that, or oh my gosh, I don't allow them to watch this because of X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, first of all, at least I think, just have the conversation, talk to them like you would an adult. Make it a serious topic, but don't shy away, because the moment you start to get uncomfortable talking to them about it, they pick up on that uncomfortability.
Is that even a word?
Or no, it's uncomfortability. They pick up on that. They pick up on
that tension.
Yes, on you being uncomfortable, and so they themselves then become uncomfortable with the mm-hmm. talk. And so that's why you just take away that barrier, have the conversation with them, let them know what sex is, or what violence is, what swearing is, things like that, and they come up all the better for it.
And on that note, well, this really forayed into various branches. We went from video games to horror to I don't know what else. I mean, it's random, so that's what we do. We keep it random here on Mish Mosh Soup. So I guess we're going to call it a wrap for this one.
But it was a really good session.
Yeah, it was a really good session. Yeah, it was. It's always enjoyable to have my son, be my little co-host. God, you're quickly becoming a co-host here more than a guest host. But anyway, until next time.
As long as that check clears.
Until next time, as you know, contact info and information will be in the show notes. And until next time, welcome and enjoy just being random. Randos. Oh gosh, I'm all tongue-tied. But bye!
Bye!